We are Doug and Diane Lippman, and we just retired.
That's right. Let me just tell you, retirement has been a little busier than we thought. Right now, we're building homes with Habitat for Humanity, and, well, we love it. The crash of 2021, that was scary to say the least.
I've never seen a market go down 1,000 in my...
Nobody has.
Nobody has. I mean, I remember the flash crash, and this has gone 1,000.
Jim, this is scary.
Listen, I totally understand. It feels like all your plans are on the line. But do you remember when we figured out your risk number was a 42?
Yeah.
We stress tested it, we understood the risk we needed to take. We knew this would be normal for your portfolio.
I remember.
Doug, we can do this. We'll get through this together. And you're gonna be building those houses in a few years, just like we planned.
Yeah, you're right, Jim. Okay. Over the last 20 years, Jim has been with us through the ups and the downs. Even when we were really nervous, he was always there for us.
Yeah, and now I feel like we've made it to our dream. And it's all because Jim showed us how to be fearless investors.
Good morning. How'd you like that? We poured our hearts and souls into making that little film. We made it to honor you because great advisors inspire us. You are the unsung heroes of 1,000 dreams that come true. You are the champions of 1,000 stories with a happy ending. You have taken this idea of ours, the risk number, and you have transformed millions of people from fearful investors who make bad decisions into fearless investors who make really great decisions that protect their long-term goals. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, and here's to the advisors who empower the world to invest fearlessly. Give it up for you. You know, this is a room filled with builders, with dreamers, with doers. We all spend our days building different things. Some of us in this room are building technology. Some of us are building organizations. Many of us are building incredible financial outcomes for people. But there's one thing that each and every one of us has been engaged in building together during the last 4 years, and it's a movement. Let me be clear. What we're experiencing is bigger, I think, than a software company called Riskalyze. To my knowledge, there's never been a company that has grown to serve over 22,000 advisors in just a few short years. That's not normal. And I think it speaks to something bigger than just a great software product. Our world is starving for a movement that makes risk understandable. A movement that acknowledges that investors aren't just conservative, moderate, or aggressive, but that they're individuals. A movement that favors objective data over opinion. As each of you have joined this movement, we put another dent into the old ways of delivering advice. And with over 4 million risk numbers that you've delivered to your clients, it's pretty clear that the third wave of advice is here. Now, do you remember the first wave? It's the 1980s. Markets are booming. Investors are anxious to find the best broker with the best ideas, and brokers are hungry for that next commission. They've made entire movies about this, and none of them are very good. Hot tips on stocks eventually gave way to my mutual fund is better than the other guy's mutual fund. But at the core of both approaches was the idea that you could get better returns, that the advisor had some kind of secret access to investments or data or research that clients couldn't get anywhere else. This focus on returns died abruptly with the discovery of an unfortunate fact. His mutual fund actually wasn't any better than the other guy's mutual fund. Promises of superior performance weren't a sustainable way to set expectations for clients. And that sobering realization eventually led our industry, and many of you came into this industry as a part of the second wave of advice, right? A focus on long-term goal-based investing. Now, the problem is a lot of those people in the first wave came in and they said, well, now we've got an answer when there's less than stellar returns, right? We're just going to tell the client, you're just not thinking long-term enough, right? Just recheck your balance against long-term average returns, and if it says you're going to make it, you should just ignore the short-term returns entirely. Some of the best people in our industry, I've heard them say it, try not to open your statements. Try not to watch television. Just be a long-term investor. Now, this isn't inherently horrible advice. At the core of it lies an important truth. The greatest killer of investment returns is the short-term sabotage that we do to ourselves when we buy and sell, add risk, take risk off, contribute money or withdraw money based on the emotions of fear and greed. We want clients to be long-term investors, don't we? That's not the problem. The problem with the second wave of advice is simply that humans are incapable of ignoring short-term risk. At the core of the third wave is the idea that we need to embrace that reality, that we must build a short-term framework to help clients understand and react to risk appropriately. The risk number is all about giving those clients a way to understand who they are, understand how much risk they need to take to reach their goals, and understand how much risk is actually in their portfolio. And this knowledge allows us to treat clients as individuals. No longer do we just toss them into one-size-fits-all buckets like conservative and moderate and aggressive. We've gone through a couple of build-outs of office space at Riskalyze, and I got to tell you, I've never had one of our contractors say to me, or I've never overheard them say to like the architect, you know, remember they want a moderately conservative hallway leading to their moderately aggressive conference room, right? For some reason, they use feet and inches in that process. One of our advisors said it best, the risk number is to my work what blueprints and measurements are to a builder. When we can understand clients with precision and equip them to understand and react to risk appropriately, that is how we turn that fearful investor who makes bad short-term decisions into that fearless investor who makes really great short-term decisions. And as we all know, the way to achieve long-term financial goals is one great short-term decision at a time. Here's the bottom line. When advisors aren't afraid to talk about risk, investors aren't afraid to make the right decisions. Every day at Riskalyze, we get to hear stories about how our movement is working. It could be that advisor who shows a risk 23 prospect that their portfolio is invested like a 92 and 10 minutes into the meeting they've got that $2 million ACAT form signed. It could be the advisor who said, I've always asked myself, how do I convince a client to sell a risky stock that is making her $10,000 a month? And you know, I finally answered that question. The risk number is helping my clients see the wisdom of my advice in a whole new way. It could be that advisor who said, you know, I first got on board with Riskalyze, I did my own risk number, I was a 52. Then I put my own portfolio in, it was a 50. I was like, all right, I got it going on here. Then I put in all my client portfolios and they ranged from the 40s to the 60s. Then I started getting my client risk numbers back and they ranged from the 20s to the 80s. And it didn't take me long to spot the pattern. I was really good at understanding who was more conservative than me and who was more aggressive than me, but I was anchoring them to me. And that's why my conservative clients still felt scared and my aggressive clients still felt frustrated. And now I'm anchoring their portfolios to them. We think it's time that more of these fearless investing stories get told. They speak volumes about the incredible care and effort that the advisors in our movement put into building great outcomes for their clients. So here's our plan. Over the next couple of months, you can go to riskalyze.com/stories and share your fearless investing stories with us. You can share one, you can share 10. In 2018, we're going to pick 6 different firms and send a production crew to your office to capture your story on camera. The stories will range from speaking very generally about a client to potentially even including the client in the on-camera story. It's your choice. If we choose your firm, you'll have a professionally produced fearless investing story branded for your firm that you can use to market your business with digital video or local television ads. So I hope you'll be a part of helping us tell fearless investing stories in 2018, and I hope it'll be a huge part in helping you grow your business in 2018. I wanted to share a little bit with you about the investments that we're making in order to make you more successful as an advisor. Joining the fearless investing movement is not quite as simple as putting a new app on your phone. You're talking about weaving the risk number into your client meetings, and that takes some coaching and some support. But we didn't want to just start your average support team 4 years ago. From day one, we've called this effort Customer Success. And today, there's an army of over 40 Riskalyzers who work day in and day out to ensure your success as an advisor. Let me tell you about a few of the ways that we're investing in that. When you call most companies, you get the infamous recorded voice with a menu of prompts. We have to have one too. But this year, we invested in a first impressions team. And today, 75% of the calls we receive are answered by a friendly human who works to get you to the right person who can help. We know your time is valuable, so our first impressions team can tell you if phone support is backed up and can even schedule you for a call back from a support rep at a time that is convenient for you. In addition to our first impressions team, the industry's best support team loves helping advisors. And with a customer satisfaction score of 95%, it's pretty clear that advisors love them back. I do get emails with complaints once in a while, but I cannot tell you how many I get from advisors telling me about how one of our support reps went above and beyond the call of duty to help, and I love that. We handle around 1,000 inbound support requests each week through phones, through email, and through our newest medium, live chat. Live chat looks a little something like this, and it is the fastest way to get a hold of our team. Case in point, we actually had to close our Atlanta facility when it was in the path of Hurricane Irma. Even when nobody was physically on site in Atlanta, our live chat meeting response time was 11 seconds. In addition to first impressions and support, we've also got some incredible coaches, and their primary job is making sure our customers are trained and effective in what they do. Our coaches host our 101 and 201 live training every week. By the way, it doesn't cost anything for you to come back and revisit those classes, and they're a great tool if you need to onboard a new employee as a new Riskalyze user in your firm. Something many of our customers don't realize is that our coaches are available for scheduled 30-minute one-on-one sessions with you by phone to help you stay sharp and learn very specific things. We have a bunch of great coaches on site here at Summit for you to learn from. I hope everyone in this room is able to spend some time with a coach soon because we pay their salaries whether you use them or not, okay? So our first impressions team gives you a great experience when you call in. Our awesome support team has an 11-second live chat response time. Our coaching team provides weekly training on both beginning and advanced topics, one-on-one 30-minute sessions with coaches at no additional cost. And our extensive knowledge base houses hundreds of articles to put best practice resources right at your fingertips. But as we listen to many of you, we heard you ask for ways to go deeper and do some more intensive training on how to take your business to the next level. So today, we're really excited to announce Riskalyze Academy. Riskalyze Academy is an online training platform to enable even greater advisor success. Let's take a look. I'm going to browse through some of the topics here that I'm interested in. It looks like client meetings might be interesting. There's a bunch of lessons that I can take a look at right here at my fingertips. I'm going to select this lesson, and you can see lessons are complete with interactive media. You can go through the material at your own pace, And it's more than one webinar or one training session or one knowledge-based article. It's step-by-step holistic training. And when you're ready, you can put your knowledge to the test. We've got some great self-assessment tools so you can see where you or your employees are at in your Riskalyze journey. The best news about Riskalyze Academy is that it's included for all of our Riskalyze Pro, Premier, and Enterprise users at no additional cost. Riskalyze Academy has been in beta for a few weeks now. It will be live in all of your accounts by the time you leave the room. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it. How about that? By the way, that was a great party last night, wasn't it? That was awesome. Thank you to our partners at Longboard for hosting that. I'm having a blast talking with like 450 of the greatest advisors on the face of planet Earth, and I've got the laryngitis to prove it. So pardon my voice, but I'm going to keep powering through, and thank you again for being here. It's so great to have you here. All right. It has been a lot of fun to see the Riskalyze product grow over the last few years. When we first launched the advisor product back in 2013, Riskalyze was just risk assessments and portfolio analysis. And then we released the lead generation questionnaire. One simple link turned your website into an interactive risk analysis tool and a lead capturing machine. Then we announced stress tests, the best way to set client expectations in the context of risk. Then we added retirement maps, a quick and simple way for advisors to see if a client's risk number was compatible with a basic retirement goal. Then we gave you investment policy statements, driving agreement and alignment between advisors and clients around the risk number. Then we launched meetings. Now advisors can simply and securely take clients through a review meeting, whether they're in the room or across the world. Then we launched check-ins, which gives you an early warning system to know when a client relationship needs care. And then a ton of integrations with all of your favorite tools. In fact, I got a note from a reporter last summer that said, if I see another press release about a Riskalyze integration, I'm going to scream. When I heard that, I pictured him saying, yeah! I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. So through all of this, our objective has been to just consistently drive up the value our advisors get with Riskalyze. And then we released an all-new tier of Riskalyze this year, offering premier-level client engagement tools to help you take your business to the next level. Many of the advisors in this room are loving what Premier is doing for their business. Premier is 5 features that are supercharging the way advisors are engaging with clients and running efficient businesses. First, the client dashboard gives your clients a risk number-centric view into their wealth. Second, retirement plans allows advisors to do risk assessments and match participants with retirement plan elections at scale. Third, filling out those custodial forms just got a little bit easier. Capture client data in a beautiful digital experience, pre-fill the forms, execute them via DocuSign. Out of the box, it works with our partners at TD Ameritrade and Trust Company of America, and we've got another one of the big custodians coming aboard this year. Fourth, there's Asset Sync. Instead of punching a prospective client's tickers in, just slide your keyboard across the desk and bam, you know the risk number of their current portfolio and you're ready to get those assets transferred. And finally, with data sharing, multi-advisor firms can share and control their client and portfolio data with total security and compliance. I'm really proud of what our team has been able to deliver to the advisors we serve, but 4 years in, we're still just scratching the surface of how we can innovate the advisor-client engagement experience. Today, we're going to completely upgrade the way that we approach stress testing. This has always been one of the most popular screens advisors love to pull up, flip their screens around, and show to their clients. It addresses the age-old question that has sent more advisors into mental institutions than any other question. You know the one I'm talking about. Why is the market beating my portfolio? You asked me for this level of risk, and then you asked me, why aren't I getting this level of return, right? For the last few years, stress test has been the way for advisors to show that to a client. They say, hey, the market's a 78. You told me you wanted to be a 42. A 42 is never going to beat a 78 in an up year like 2013, never in a million years. But take a look at 2008. I think that's why you decided you wanted to be a 42, right? So we just need to decide what is the right level of risk for you, and I think you were right on when you told me you wanted to be a 42. That's a great conversation. We said to ourselves, how can we help take that kind of client conversation to the next level? So today, we're really excited to introduce the next generation of stress testing. We call it scenarios. With scenarios, you can run any of your clients' portfolios through any market timeline and compare them to just the right benchmark to make your point. To show you just how powerful this is, I'd like to invite my co-founder and Riskalyze's Chief Investment Officer, Mike McDaniel, to the stage for a demo.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much, Aaron. I've got two amazing jobs. By now you know that Riskalyze is built by advisors for advisors, and I get to use Riskalyze with my clients to help them invest fearlessly. I also get to use all that I've learned with my clients at Riskalyze to help other advisors do the same. I know what it's like to have clients comparing my performance to their neighbor's portfolio, their golfing buddy, a sibling, the market. I know what it's like to overcome that emotion-driven discussion that oftentimes leads to a bad investing decision. Today, I get to show off new functionality. It's going to help us advise our clients in a way that makes the math the bad cop and powers good investing decisions. Aaron mentioned stress tests, and we've all known them as stress tests. Now we're going to take those stress tests to the next level with scenarios. Scenarios is going to be available to every Riskalyze user. With stress tests, we've been able to show investors what could likely happen if we experience one of those memorable markets of the past. Let's take a look at scenarios. You'll recognize these four default scenarios: the 2013 raging bull market, the 2008 and financial crisis markets, and the spike in interest rates. It's these stress tests that have helped us advisors set expectations by showing clients how their portfolio might react to a booming or busting market. For those clients that want less risk in the market, they need to be able to see that they're going to be sacrificing some upside. So we've got that 2013 stress test in there to help us highlight that. For those investors that want to go after all the returns in the market, they need to know they've got to stomach some horrible markets in that process. So we've got those two bear market scenarios in there for that. With scenarios, we're going to take the setting of those expectations to a new level. With scenarios, advisors create their own market scenarios that can help them highlight specific market impacts on portfolios. Let me tell you a couple stories. Stories that you've likely experienced. We've all got clients that want to add to winners, typically at the wrong time. And it's in this scenario that I've got a client that's had really good success with energy. In fact, his parents had really good success with energy stocks. His account is already heavy in energy stocks, and now that energy is back up, he wants to buy some more. You'll see here that I've saved a scenario that I call oil bust. I can toggle to this view to show, or really remind this client, the risk that's associated with having highly concentrated positions. I simply found a historical market environment that I'm going to relive using this scenario, and I've saved it to use with him down the road and with other clients that may be looking to add energy to their portfolio or go kind of all in on energy. It's this scenario that's going to help me quantify for this client how much trouble he'd be in if, or maybe when, energy stocks fell again. And again, I'm making the math the bad cop. I can also very easily compare this client's idea with my suggestions, a benchmark, one of my models, etc. So here I've added my proposed portfolio to the analysis, and this will help me quantify the difference between his idea and my proposed portfolio. So as you've become accustomed to, we present these analytics in dollar amounts that are specific to the investor. It's one thing to tell somebody you're going to be down X percent. It's another thing to express to them that you're going to be down $30,000. So I've got an iPhone 8. Many of you probably have clients that are already heavy in Apple, or worse off, clients that think they've missed the opportunity that was Apple. And now they're asking us to invest in Apple, which makes us, their advisors, very nervous. We know that Apple has had multiple periods in its history where its stock price has fallen considerably and swiftly. So again, I simply find a historical period when Apple has dropped, and I save it as one of my scenarios. Here I've saved a scenario called Newton's Apple. This is going to help me show the impact that too much Apple could have on a portfolio. Again, amounts that are specific to this investor, and I'm making the math the bad cop. Scenarios allows you to save a myriad of different scenarios that you'd like to highlight with your clients. So think to yourself for a minute of those clients that have highly concentrated stock positions, a heavy equity portfolio, a light equity portfolio, a high allocation of bonds, or those clients that we love that call us to get levered up on precious metals, right? Imagine having a scenario that would quantify the risks that are involved with their ideas as they come up. So think to yourself, what scenarios would you like to have at your fingertips to help your clients invest fearlessly? That's scenarios. It's for all of our users, and we know you're going to love it. Now, Riskalyze has gone through great pains to present analytics that you can use with your clients that are easy to understand. In fact, we are oftentimes called easy to understand, simple, etc., and we take that as a compliment. But we also know that us advisors and some of our more sophisticated investors want to geek out a little bit. So I get to give you a sneak peek at something we're calling stats. Stats is going to be available to our premier users. Here you can see modeled performance that you can compare an existing account or a portfolio or a proposed portfolio, a benchmark, etc. You'll see scatter plots, risk-return scatter plots here. You'll see allocation weights, probably our largest suggested or requested feature, which is show me so I can show my clients where the risk is coming in this portfolio. That's allocation weights. Sector breakdowns. What's your allocation to technology, financials, et cetera, et cetera. And then a very quick sneak peek at some of the other things that we're drafting to be a part of stats. Now, early on, I mentioned that Riskalyze is built by advisors for advisors. If you've got an analytic or a statistic that you'd like to see as a part of stats, please, and I mean this, please get on the conference app and put in your suggestions. Please let us know. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike. I don't think I've ever heard an audience so excited to talk about statistics. We can't wait for you to get your hands on these great new features. Stats will ship later this year for our premier users. Scenarios is a free upgrade for every Riskalyze Pro, Premier, and Enterprise user. And I'm excited to share that we're shipping a customer preview of Scenarios live in your account next week. By the time you get back to your office, you should be able to launch Scenarios for any of the client portfolios you have in Riskalyze. Now, as excited as I am about what the risk number allows us to keep building inside of Riskalyze, we're also starting to see something really cool. We have customers starting to leverage our API to build great things with the risk number outside of Riskalyze. Some of these customers are enterprise partners who want to connect Riskalyze data into their backend systems. Others are building really great analytical tools using risk number data. Here's one great example. One of our longtime customers, Tom Hall, saw the need for better business intelligence in his firm, so he created something new called Advisor Metrics. A bunch of great data about his clients is at his fingertips. He's drawing it from CRM and financial planning and all kinds of different places, and the risk number is right at the heart of it all. When a client or portfolio risk number changes in Riskalyze, the API automatically updates Advisor Metrics so the data is always up to date. Tom is here at the summit. His name is spelled T-H-O-M. So if you want to check out more of what he's done, shoot him a message on the conference app. You'll enjoy getting to meet him. Let me share the latest with you about the Autopilot platform as well. In the few short months since we've launched Autopilot, the reaction from all of you has been incredible. We are so excited about your response to the new platform. Let's take a moment and review what Autopilot is doing to help you focus on client relationships again.
You know the problem. Using Riskalyze to make investment decisions is easy, but implementing those decisions is a pain in the assets. After you've decided how to invest your client's portfolio, you pull out your spreadsheets, yellow legal pad, and browser tabs to implement your decisions. It's prone to error and costs you valuable time. Complex trading software hasn't solved this problem because programming complicated tolerance bands and rebalance schedules is a huge pain and results in a one-size-fits-all approach for your clients. What if you could automate your business, deliver the personalization you've promised to your clients, and tap into research from the industry's best strategists? Well, now you can. Welcome to Autopilot, the world's first automated account platform. Autopilot supercharges Riskalyze to put implementing your investment decisions just a click away and keep everything on track with one-click fiduciary technology. There are two ways to use Autopilot. First, meet the risk number models. 21 low-cost, tax-efficient models that you can customize with over 150 ETFs. Or use your own models. Build them from scratch, or leverage research from the industry's leading asset managers and over 85,000 stocks, ETFs, or mutual funds. Following models from a strategist? If you like their changes, you can push them across your client accounts instantly. And because you're still your client's sole advisor, they don't have to sign any new paperwork when you put their accounts on Autopilot. Our one-click fiduciary technology surfaces the decisions you need to make for each client at exactly the right time. Whenever your client accounts need attention, for risk number drift, model changes, or putting new dollars to work, you can make the right thing happen with a click or snooze them until it's time. After all, your clients didn't hire you to punch enter on 600 trades a day. They want your expertise and advice. With world-class, low-cost risk number models, access to the Autopilot Partner Store, and one-click fiduciary technology, you can put the hassles of your business on Autopilot and focus on your client relationships again.
So that's what Autopilot is all about. And today we've got 4 exciting new updates to the platform that we want to show you. Number 1, new partners. American Funds now provides their strategies on Autopilot. They're arguably the most popular mutual fund company among advisors. We're thrilled to have them join the platform. You can cheer for that. I heard that coming. And Dorsey Wright is also coming aboard. They're one of the largest providers of strategies driven by technical market indicators. We're really happy to see these 2 great firms join what has become a truly remarkable family of partners on Autopilot. Many of these amazing strategists are here on site this week, and I really hope you take a few minutes and connect with them while you're here. Number 2, we're releasing a faster, easier workflow for managing new accounts that are first proposed either through client-driven account opening or through an advisor proposal, and then get connected as the accounts actually get opened, appear on the data feed, get funded, and then are ready for their first trades. Number 3, we're releasing a more elegant way for advisors to manage cash in Autopilot accounts. We've made it faster and easier for you to put new dollars to work or free up cash for distributions with automated cash management tools. And finally, we're launching multi-strategy accounts on Autopilot. You're now going to have tremendous flexibility when it comes to how you mix and match different models from different strategists in one single account. To give you a sneak peek of these awesome new updates, I'd like to welcome Riskalyze's EVP of Customer Solutions, Ryan Porter, to the stage.
Thanks, Aaron. As you can see, we've been really hard at work creating enhancements to the Autopilot platform, and I'm absolutely thrilled to show them to you today. So let's talk about a situation that I know is really common for you. You're at the end of one of your client review meetings with a $2 million client of yours, and he says, by the way, my daughter has $25,000 to invest, and I'd really like you to handle her as a client. Now, right now, you're dealing with a whole lot of competing emotions. You genuinely want to help her invest successfully, but right now is a really awkward time to bring up your $250,000 account minimum. Whether you say yes or no, you know you need to start to develop a relationship with her because after all, she's the one that's going to inherit the $2 million. What if there was a way to say yes and know that you could profitably serve that daughter and do it in a way that the next generation of investors really appreciates? And that's through a beautiful digital experience. Let's take a look. Imagine this is your website. You send her a link to open the account herself. Now, client-driven account opening works with all 6 custodians that we support. 2 of them will automate the account paperwork for e-signature. She can pinpoint her risk and match it with one of the models that you've suggested. Capture her account details in a really engaging, seamless experience. E-sign the documents, and she's good to go. Now check this out. Back in Riskalyze, there's her pending account right here with the model that she selected during the process. As you can see, the paperwork has been sent, and when the account is open and arrives on the data feed, we're going to connect it right here. Once the account is funded, one-click fiduciary technology is automatically going to drop those trades that are necessary onto your trading dashboard. All you have to do is let one-click fiduciary do the rest. So that's the new account workflow. Now let's take a look at cash management. Lance is one of your retired clients, and he needs to withdraw $6,000 in cash every month. You can go to the right account, click on cash management, and automatically schedule a recurring distribution. One-click fiduciary technology is going to surface the trades that are necessary to free up this cash every month. All you have to do is hit approve. Isn't that magically simple? I want to show you one last thing, multi-strategy accounts. Let's propose a new autopilot account for a prospective client. Now, I've already used Asset Sync to bring her outside account into Riskalyze. And this client's told me that she does not want to share that, or she does not want to sell any of that Chevron stock. She inherited it from her dad's job, and it's really sentimental to her. She's also told me that she'd like to have a piece of her account in some solid stocks with a chance of outsized growth. So let's go ahead and propose this account. I'm going to lock that Chevron stock, and then I'm going to grab the Likefolio Dozen model from the Autopilot Partner Store. Now, Likefolio is really interesting. They use social media feeds to make some really informed stock picks. So we're going to put 20% of her account into that model, and then I want to put the rest into one of the risk number models by First Trust. I'm going to go ahead and approve that, and bam, the trades to implement this decision will go right to my trading dashboard. Now, as the market drifts this position away from its targeted risk number, one-click fiduciary technology will alert me to make the changes I need to keep this account on track. Multi-strategy accounts are a powerful way to mix and match the different strategists in the Autopilot Partner Store. The fact that Autopilot keeps you in control makes all of this automation work even more customizable and powerful. We know that this is going to do amazing things for your business. Back to you, Aaron.
Thanks, Ryan. I've never heard an audience so excited to talk about multi-strategy accounts. We're really thrilled about all the interest and the excitement and the growth that we're seeing on the Autopilot platform. You know, what's interesting is we've had a bunch of advisors who jumped aboard, started to put a few accounts on, and came back to us and said, oh my gosh, the savings and the automation are so huge. What would it look like if I wanted to go all in and put my entire book of business on this and have a simple, predictable price for Autopilot? So we're going to try something out here with folks at Summit. If you're looking to get this kind of automation for anything over about $20 million in assets, we're going to offer Summit attendees the Autopilot Unlimited plan. You can get all of the automation benefits of Autopilot for an unlimited number of accounts, all for one fixed, predictable price. If you're interested in Autopilot Unlimited, chat with a member of our team at Riskalyze Central, and we'd be happy to help you get started. So we've talked about the movement that we've been building together. We talked about the investments we're making at Riskalyze to make you more successful as an advisor. We've rolled out some incredible new features in Riskalyze Pro, Premier, and on the Autopilot platform. But before we go, I want to tell you a story about something that happened inside of our company. It was just over 4 years ago that we were 4 people. And it's because of all of you here that the fearless investing movement has grown the way that it has. And our team has grown a lot as well. We've gone from those 4 people to now crossing about 200 employees. And about a year ago, we looked around and we noticed, hey, we're a little bit like the cobbler's kid that doesn't have shoes. We don't have a 401k plan at our company. And if we're going to bring fearless investing to the world, we kind of need to be fearless investors ourselves, right? So we went to work and started putting together a 401k plan for our employees. We had to choose a custodian, a record keeper, a third-party administrator, a model provider, an advisor, he's here in the room, and then that advisor needs software. That software is based on the risk number, maybe you've heard of it. Each one of these vendors had their own contracts and pricing and processes. It took us months from the time we started the process to when employees could make their first contributions. And then there was the technology. Each piece of this mess was a completely different experience. Our industry is plagued with bad user experiences. And worst of all, none of these solutions really integrate with each other. The employee experience started out okay. Our advisors sent our employees a risk assessment. You may have seen something like this before. They went through that process. They selected the investment model in the plan that matched them best. But it's that last mile of integration that will always get you. That's when employees had to take the elections that they were matched with and go access the participant portal and try to put them all in. And that's the moment when 200 people at Riskalyze started pounding their heads on their desks and said, wow, this 401k industry is ripe for disruption. For every Riskalyze employee that was banging their head against the desk that day, there are 1,000 advisors who have done the same thing. And that's why many of you have checked out of the 401k world entirely. And if that's you, you're listening intently right now because you relate to that frustration. Our retirement plan software in Premier is great for matching participants with elections, but what if you want to actually automate and serve the entire plan? Given the state of the 401k space, it is that last mile of integration that is the hardest. So we said to ourselves, how do we equip advisors to serve the entire 401k plan? We first thought about trying to stitch together some of these record keepers and custodians and third-party administrators, but we quickly realized that wasn't going to create the 10x better user experience that we wanted to deliver. We decided that what the industry really needed was an end-to-end digital 401k experience built around the risk number. Not only does the industry need it, employers need it, the hardworking employees of this country need it. And they need a platform simple and powerful enough to entice more great advisors like you to come back to 401ks and serve them again. We looked long and hard across our industry, and we decided there was only one company that we wanted to partner with so that together we could bring you an end-to-end digital 401k experience built around the risk number. So today, we're really thrilled to introduce Riskalyze Retirement Solutions, and it's powered by Vestwell. To show you this new joint product that we've developed together, I want to invite to the stage Aaron Schumm, CEO of Vestwell, and our partner in launching Riskalyze Retirement Solutions out to the world.
Thank you, everyone. We're very, very excited to be here and be a part of this movement. I've known Aaron for a number of years and been a huge fan of what they've done since the day they've launched. And now we've had the opportunity to bring this all together. So I went through a very similar experience in my last life, having co-founded Folio Dynamics. in establishing a 401k platform for our own employees. And going through that process and sitting down with the advisor and designing that plan and implementing it and being handed something as an employee and trying to invest back into it was painful. I had hair back then. And we've tried to change that. So we built Vestwell for you to put it in the hands of advisors to help you help your clients. We want you to engage at a different level and change the conversations that you can have with your plan sponsors and participant clients. So we've integrated Riskalyze directly from the platform here. It's seamless. You're going to be able to log in to your Riskalyze platform. When you want to sit down with the plan sponsor and design that plan, it's one click. It's going to take you directly into the system. Now, this platform is going to do everything for you. It's going to help you design the plan. It's going to help you e-sign all the documents with the plan sponsor. Change the whole design process. I never wanted someone to sit in front of a plan sponsor client or participant and said, here's everything you can do, but I can't tell you what to do. We wanted to change that. We want you to sit down. You're there to provide advice, and we want you to be able to give that sound custom advice. So when you log into the system, you're going to have the ability to input the plan sponsor material, design a plan, do a side-by-side comparison. If there's an existing plan, you look at the financials, and you can input the current plan design, any of the fees that are associated with that, and do a side-by-side comparison. You'll have the ability to write your own custom cover letter. Create the actual design of the plan itself. It's custom. This is not 401k in a box. This is being able to go through and determine what is the best plan design for that plan sponsor and create a custom proposal on the fly. We took that process from a week to 2 week process in a traditional platform. We took it down to about 5 or 10 minutes. So it changes how you're going to engage and be able to get someone on board as fast as possible. Once that happens, the customer proposal gets created. The plan docs all get electronically generated. They're custom designed documents based on the plan design. Whether there's 338 services provided, we'll facilitate the 316 services behind it. The trading, custody, clearing, everything is done on your behalf. All those documents get signed. Once they get signed, the employees get a notification. That notification is going to take them into their own portal where they're going to have the ability to determine their risk score. Fully embedded, they'll walk through, select a risk score. You'll have a series of models, ETFs that are going to be provided. We do trade ETFs intraday, which in this industry doesn't happen often. So they'll be able to go through to determine what that plan design looks like or determine what their allocation looks like, pick that model, and every 2 weeks when payroll hits, that will get processed. We'll rebalance back to that portfolio, keep them in line. You'll have the ability to see this. It will bubble up to your dashboard, so you'll know what these participants are investing in. And if you choose to engage and start that relationship with that prospective wealth client later down the road, and you want to start that now, you'll have that opportunity and be able to engage in that conversation. That risk number gets determined, the model gets selected, and from there, they're able to monitor it ongoing. Everyone has their own dashboard. This is the only touch point for you, for the plan sponsor and the participant. Fully integrated, fully customized, ready for you to service your clients at a different level. If you look at the industry as a whole, upwards of 90% of plans are serviced via financial advisors. However, in the small to medium-sized marketplace, over 58% of those plans are not touched. There are no plans. Americans need you to step in and provide that advice to allow them to start saving now. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to do so, and this is why we created Vestwell. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron. I've never heard an audience so excited to hear a presentation from someone named Aaron before. So working together, Vestwell and Riskalyze are delivering a platform with better technology, a better user experience, and better managed account solutions. But that's not all. We're also empowering you to deliver all of that to plan sponsors at a dramatically lower cost to the investor, all while earning the same fee for your business. Let me show you what I mean. The way that the old incumbent platforms are constructed, the plan fees for all of those different vendors and the managed account products will add up to between 120 and 250 basis points. Then we need to add your advisory fee to advise the plan, let's say 50 basis points. So the total cost of ownership to the plan participant is between 170 and 300 basis points. With Riskalyze Retirement Solutions, you have one simple plan fee that includes all of the plan services, technology, and managed account solutions that you need. And it's just 65 basis points. You add that same advisory fee, and the total cost of ownership to the investor is 32 to 62% lower than the old incumbent platforms. Talk about acting in a client's best interests. A better plan, better technology, dramatically lower cost to the investor, and you're earning the same fee for your business, and all of this at no additional cost to Riskalyze users. We think Retirement Solutions is going to be revolutionary. It's so simple that advisors who have never worked with 401ks before are going to be able to dive in and take the benefits of fearless investing to a whole new generation of investors. Retirement Solutions is available this November. We know there's going to be a ton of demand for putting plans on the platform this fall, but we want Summit attendees to be the first in line to get their hands on it. During this 15-minute break, you'll notice that we've got a team of specialists right outside the venue doors there, so you can sign up to be the first in line to experience Retirement Solutions in just a few weeks. Go get signed up and then hurry right back, because Shark Tank's Damon John will be on this stage in 15 minutes. Have a great day at Summit, everybody. Thank you.